Habs Nation. Have you ever seen a local media machine spin a complete crisis out of thin air, turning a prospect standard developmental choice into a narrative of corporate betrayal? In the hyper-analytical, deeply paranoid ecosystem of the National Hockey League, a top draft pick opting to stay in college for an extra year is often misconstrued as a sign of disloyalty or discord. Today, we're barricading the tactical war room to cut through the intolerable noise surrounding Montreal Canadiens prospect Michael Hage. When news broke that Hage would return to the University of Michigan for the 2026-27 season, the immediate assumption was a rift. Echoes of Cutter Gauthier or Adam Fox scenarios where prospects force their way out. Grab your prospect ledgers, pull up your NCAA development charts, and brace for an unflinching breakdown. We're conducting a forensic audit of Pat Brisson's damage control and exactly how Kent Hughes views his coveted asset. Let's dive straight into the structural and emotional reality of Michael Hage to set the record straight. When panic erupted across the market, fueled by wild speculation and unfounded rumors, CAA super agent Pat Brisson stepped up to a microphone and delivered a masterclass in corporate shutdown. I need you to freeze your analytical processing and focus on the definitive intelligence he provided. Brisson confirmed with absolute clarity that there is zero friction between Hage and the Canadiens organization. Hage grew up as a lifelong Habs fan, idolizing the team and dreaming of wearing the CH. The decision to return to Michigan isn't a leverage play or a subtle push to escape Montreal. It's a calculated, deliberate developmental track designed to maximize his long-term potential. The rift narrative, so eagerly peddled by certain media corners, is officially dead and buried. Let's unpack the logic behind Hage's choice, because it's rooted in biological and tactical realities, not drama. The NCAA offers a lighter game schedule compared to professional leagues like the AHL or NHL, but it provides significantly more time for off-ice training, particularly in the weight room. Hage is electing to use this extra year to increase his physical mass, building the strength and durability needed to withstand the rigors of professional hockey. Beyond that, he's assuming a primary alpha leadership role as the true number one center for the Wolverines, honing his ability to drive a team's offense and handle high-pressure situations. This isn't about dodging Montreal. It's about protecting his long-term kinetic output. When he does sign his entry-level contract, YLC, next year, he aims to be physically equipped to survive the grueling geometry of NHL centers, rather than being sheltered on the wing in Laval or rushed into a role he's not ready for. This is a mature, forward-thinking decision, not a red flag. Now, let's aggressively pivot our lens to the secondary narrative pushed by the media in the wake of this non-story. The idea that general manager Kent Hughes could still weaponize Hage in a massive off-season blockbuster trade. In front office asset management, you must completely separate emotional loyalty from mathematical equity. The fact that Michael Hage wants to be a Hab 100%, a rarity in today's player-driven league, does not automatically make him untradeable. In fact, it enhances his value, positioning him as an incredibly attractive, premium blue-chip asset for rival executives. He's a high-upside, cost-controlled center with a flawless developmental trajectory and a team-first attitude, the kind of player GMs salivate over when building for the future. His desire to play in Montreal only sweetens the deal for potential trade partners, as they know they're acquiring a motivated talent eager to prove himself. However, let's audit the physics of moving an asset like Hage, because it's not a decision to be taken lightly. You don't trade a 20-year-old center with elite offensive architecture just to shake up the roster or fill a minor gap. Hage, with his top-end speed, transitional playmaking, and stylistic comparisons to Robert Thomas, represents a potential cornerstone for the Canadiens' future middle six or even top-line center depth. If Kent Hughes is actually considering putting Hage on the trading block, he's not looking for depth pieces or mid-round draft picks as a return. He's hunting for an established, prime-age superstar, a player who fundamentally alters the Canadiens' championship window immediately. Someone in the vein of a proven 80-point forward or a top-pairing defenseman in their peak years. Anything less than a transformative return would be corporate malpractice, given Hage's projected ceiling and organizational fit. Let's explore the broader context of Hage's value to Montreal, both on and off the trade market. If the Canadiens keep him, they retain a highly motivated, physically maturing center who will slot directly into their long-term offensive core alongside talents like Nick Suzuki and Ivan Demidov. His extra year at Michigan cost the team nothing but patience, allowing him to develop him at a natural pace without burning a year of his ELC or rushing him into the NHL before he's ready. This aligns perfectly with Hughes' philosophy of sustainable contention, building a roster that peaks over a 7 to 9 year window rather than chasing short-term gains. Hage's commitment to the Habs also fosters a positive cultural narrative, reinforcing the idea that Montreal is a destination for young talent, a place where prospects want to play and grow. If they trade him, the return must, as reports suggest, completely blow their socks off. Hughes holds all the leverage in this scenario. The front office isn't operating under the threat of a player demanding a trade or holding out. Common headaches with high-end prospects. They control the rights to a premier asset who dreams of wearing the uniform, giving them the upper hand in any negotiation. A trade would only happen on Montreal's terms, likely involving a package that addresses an immediate roster need while still preserving long-term flexibility. This isn't a position of weakness. It's a position of absolute executive luxury, where Hughes can weigh options without external pressure forcing his hand. Whether Hage stays or goes, the Canadiens are poised to win, either by nurturing a future star or by leveraging his value for a game-changing acquisition. Let's also dissect the media's role in inflating this non-issue into a full-blown panic. The assumption that Hage's return to Michigan signaled a rift or dissatisfaction stems from a broader trend in hockey coverage, jumping to dramatic conclusions without evidence. Cases like Cutter Gauthier, who forced a trade from Philadelphia to Anaheim, or Adam Fox, who maneuvered his way to the New York Rangers, have conditioned outlets to see betrayal in every unconventional prospect decision. But Hage's situation bears no resemblance to those cautionary tales. There's no whisper of discontent, no leaked tension, just a young player in his camp making a strategic choice for his career. Brisson's swift and unequivocal statement killed the conspiracy theories before they could take root, exposing the narrative for the hallucination it was. This overreaction is a reminder of how local media, hungry for clicks and controversy, can distort reality, especially in a passionate market like Montreal, where every move is scrutinized. Now, let's consider the developmental benefits of Hage's decision in greater detail. Returning to Michigan for the 2026-27 season allows him to dominate as the Wolverines' top center, refining his two-way game and leadership skills in a high-profile NCAA environment. The lighter schedule, typically around 35 to 40 games compared to the AHL 72 or NHL's 82, means less wear and tear on his body, giving him ample time to focus on strength training and conditioning. Building physical mass is critical for a center, a position that demands resilience against constant board battles and net front scrums in the NHL. Hage, who's already shown elite offensive instincts with 85 points over 2 collegiate seasons, can use this year to round out his frame and defensive game, ensuring he arrives in Montreal as a complete player rather than a one-dimensional talent needing sheltering. This isn't a delay. It's an investment in durability and versatility. Let's also address the fan perspective, because the media panic likely stirred unease among the Habs faithful. I know many of you were eager to see Hage in a Canadiens jersey as soon as possible, especially after his MVP performance at the World Junior Championship with 15 points. The idea of waiting another year can feel like a letdown, especially in a city that lives for hockey and craves the next big thing. But consider the bigger picture. Rushing prospect before they're ready often backfires, leading to stunted growth or lost confidence. Hughes and Hage's camp are prioritizing a timeline that maximizes his impact when he does arrive, potentially as a polished, physically ready center who can step into a top 6 role right away. Patience now could yield a decade of dominance later, and Brisson's reassurance should ease any lingering doubts about Hage's commitment to team. Finally, let's project the long-term implications for Hughes' offseason strategy. With the media crisis debunked, he can evaluate his chessboard with complete clarity. Keeping Hage allows Montreal to build depth down the middle, a critical area for sustained contention, especially as Suzuki enters his prime and younger talents like Kirby Dach mature. Trading Hage, while unlikely without a jaw-dropping offer, gives Hughes a trump card to pursue a superstar if the right deal emerges, perhaps a top-line winger or elite defenseman to complement the current core. Either way, The Canadiens hold a winning hand. The media tried to engineer a corporate crisis where none existed, but Michael Hage returning to Michigan is a victory for long-term physical development, not a warning sign. Pat Brisson effectively silenced the conspiracy theories, and whether Hage is scoring goals at the Bell Center in 2027 or being used as the ultimate financial sledgehammer to acquire a superstar this summer, Montreal possesses an elite organizational asset. I'm turning the floor over to you in the comments. Step into the GM's chair. Is Michael Hage's decision to return to Michigan the right developmental move? And should Kent Hughes consider trading him only for a superstar return? Crush that subscribe button now to lock in your permanent executive access to this war room. Slam the like button to overpower the algorithm. Keep your sights locked on the prospect pipelines and stay fiercely tuned in for our next tactical breakdown.